Okay, so I watched Ray Comfort's latest movie, Noah. Before I start this video, I obviously need to point out Ray's hypocrisy with the aid of this still from his video. You will note that Ray cites fair usage when using multiple lengthy clips of other people's YouTube videos. This is the same Ray who issued a DMCA notice for a single image from one of his own videos, used to illustrate a point in an identical way to which he employed these lengthy clips of other people's work. It would seem that do as you would be done by is in one of the many Bible verses which Ray has not yet had read to him, and honesty is perhaps something he preaches rather than practices. But Ray will have no excuse this time as I spell it out to him and his money-making family machine that YouTube explicitly states, and a DMCA filer must acknowledge that they understand the fact that a false or bad faith allegation may result in adverse legal consequences and the termination of their YouTube account. This video complies with the fair use regulations, Ray. You have been warned, and Barbara is waiting. Barbara Streisand. And so on to the movie. It's mainly a series of Ray's heavily edited mic-in-face interrogations, and we know how Ray edits his interrogations from previously presented evidence, specifically by Potholer 54.
And Comfort also preaches that we're all liars, but apparently it's okay to lie as long as you've been saved by Jesus.
The interrogations are interspersed with Bible verses and Ray's 10 signs of the end times. One of these 10 signs is, of course, that scoffers will say that the other 9 signs have always been there. What a gotcha that is. The plain fact that the signs have always been there, and skeptics pointing this fact out to you, is proof enough that, well, proof of what? Either the signs have not always been there, or they have. If they have always been there, then they do not qualify as signs of anything, regardless of whether a skeptic or scoffer points this fact out to you, or you come to the realization on your own. And anyone who does not understand that these signs have always been there is welcome to take up my challenge and provide evidence of any period in history when evidence of these so-called signs could not have been produced by a believer at that time who wanted to show that the second coming was imminent in their own day. The video does provide some amusing moments. If you don't mind being amused by someone who is gleefully promoting the destruction of the entire earth, the eternal torment of 99% of the human population, and lining the pockets of himself and his extended family and friends in the process. The first of Ray's signs is that there will be money-hungry Bible preachers. This would make me laugh if it didn't fill my mouth with bile. The 2012 tax return shows that the Comfort family business took in $3.1 million. But where does that $3.1 million donated by good Christian folk get spent? 4 key personnel, 3 of them Comfort family members, are paid $419,000. $1,184,000 goes on other salaries and wages. Employee benefits and taxes take up $315,000. $104,000 goes to Kirk Cameron's company. So 2/3 of the money donated by good-meaning people disappears in salaries and benefits, and the rest is made up of the usual administration and company expenses. I missed the line detailing the amount of this tax-exempt income which went on good causes. Perhaps someone could point that out to me. I would also be interested in Ray explaining what the $1.8 million of land, building and equipment his company holds refers to, or what it is that his company is paying $750,000 mortgages on. Anyone who doubts that Ray Comforts is a money-making machine should look at the facts. It takes in $3 million, spends 2/3 of that on salaries and benefits, and the rest on making more money for next year. The message he is spreading, with everyone else's money, is clear from this movie. He wants people to believe that we are in the end times and that Jesus' return is imminent. This, of course, does not stop his company having mortgages worth $750,000 or savings in the bank of $500,000. You would think that someone who truly believed the end was nigh might actually follow the teachings of the man he professes to follow and liquidate their assets to give the proceeds to the poor. but none of us is perfect, eh, Ray? The second of Ray's signs is death, disease and war. I think I've covered that. His third sign is the red moon. Now I realise that not everyone knows this, but it is a simple fact that during a lunar eclipse, which is not a rare event, the selective diffraction of the visible spectrum from the sun through the Earth's atmosphere results in the moon taking on a red hue. That's it. We call it science, Ray. Ray's fourth sign is that blasphemy will become commonplace. I mean, for Christ's sake. His fifth sign is an increase in the acceptance of homosexuality. But Ray wants to make clear that he doesn't hate fags. His mate God does that for him, and Ray just tells everyone that fags are an abomination. Any bigotry and hatred perpetrated against anyone who does not conform to the comfort model of sexuality by a third party as a direct result of Ray's preaching is not Ray's fault at all. I hope we all have that clear. Ray's sixth sign is that people will deny that God created the heavens or judged the world through Noah's flood. The best response to this is that given by geologist Richard Beale in the movie.
Haven't you researched?
I'm doing it now. I'm coming to experts.
That's, you need to do your homework before you talk to experts.
Ray then explains away the animals on the ark by claiming that kind is a word which explains everything. Well, the word kind actually destroys the creationist argument, as a quick glance at Leviticus will prove. You see, the Bible had many individual kinds of locusts, ravens, vultures, owls. Leviticus spells out many kinds that the creationists would claim derived from one kind during the flood. So come on, Ray, read your Bible again and then tell us what a biblical kind really is. Ray's eighth sign is that there will be a fear about the future, because of course the present day is the first time in history when people have feared the future. I am certain that everyone sailed through the collapse of the Roman Empire, barbarian invasions, the rise of Islam, half the population of Europe perishing in the Black Death, the First and Second World Wars, the Cold War and the accompanying threat of an atomic apocalypse. Yes, that was all a breeze, wasn't it, Ray? Ray's ninth sign, of course, is that I will point out to him the inanity of presenting this nonsense as signs of anything but how well history repeats itself. Ray's 10th sign? Well, it isn't a sign. It's Ray saying that we are living in the end times because of the previous 9 signs, which were really only 8 because one of them was that people would scoff at the 8 signs. So just as the English language is so often Ray's enemy, 'twould appear that maths is no great friend to him either. Now I'm certain that those who long each day for something to bolster their flagging faith, and don't mind if that something is the utter destruction of the earth, followed by the eternal torture of 99% of its inhabitants, will lap up this video, and in turn bolster the Comfort family coffers for another year, so that Ray can pay the long-term mortgages and continue saving for the far-off day, which he is busy telling everyone else is arriving tomorrow. Thank you, as always, for watching.